Welcome to our channel. Today we are going to study a part of biology known as traits. We are going to study these parts of biology with questions and answers for a better understanding. The first question we have here says, the characters possessed by an organism are called dash. A. Traits. B. Alleles. C. Hybrid. D. Mitosis. In this question, the correct answer is A. Traits. Traits are characters that are observed in an organism. So those characters possessed by an organism are called traits. And in different organisms, there are traits that are transmitted from parents to offspring. Those traits that are transmitted from parents to their offspring are the hereditary traits. The next question says, an organism's traits are determined by the combination of inherited dash. A. Genes. B. Water. C. Air. D. None of the above. In this question, the correct answer is A. Genes. So, an organism's traits are determined by combination of inherited genes. Genes are units of inheritance. They are DNA segments that control a lot of traits that are transmitted from parents to their offspring. So studies have shown that an organism's traits are determined by the combination of inherited genes because genes play a great role in controlling traits that move from generation to generation. The next question says, the process that deals with the transmission of traits from parents to their offspring is best described as dash. A. Genome. B. Heredity. C. Variation. D. Mitosis. In this question, the correct answer is B. Heredity. Heredity is the process that deals with the transmission of traits from parents to their offspring. So when someone talks about heredity, that individual is describing inheritance. So the process that deals with the transmission of traits, different traits from parents to their offspring, is best described as heredity. The next question says, an organism's phenotypic traits arise from the interaction between the organism's genotype and the dash. A. RNA. B. Environment. C. Chromatid. D. None of the above. In this question, the correct answer is B. Environment. So, an organism's phenotypic traits arise from the interaction between the organism's genotype and the environment. So, the interaction of genotype of an organism and the environment contribute greatly to the phenotypic traits or the phenotype of an organism. Phenotype is the physical appearance of an organism. So, an organism's phenotypic traits arise from a great interaction between the genotype of that organism and the environment that that organism is living. The next question says, which of the following is a hereditary trait? A. Albinism. B. Eye color. C. Height. D. All of the above. In this question, the correct answer is D, all of the above. There are many traits that are transmitted from parents to their offspring in a human being. These traits include albinism, eye color, height, etc. So all these traits can be transmitted from parents to their offspring, and that's why they are called hereditary traits. The next question says, the traits that mask other traits and prevent their phenotypic expressions in an organism are called dash. A, recessive traits. B, dominant traits. C, cytoplasm. D, mitochondrion. In this question, the correct answer is B, dominant traits. Dominant traits are those traits that mask other traits in such a way that they prevent the phenotypic expressions of other traits in an organism. These dominant traits are in charge, or they mask other traits and prevent their phenotypic expressions. For instance, if someone is tall, it means that with respect to height, the dominant trait in that individual is tallness, but that person still has shortness in him or her, but that tallness masked the shortness in that individual. So any trait that masks another trait and prevents the phenotypic expression of that trait is called a dominant trait. The next question says, dominant traits are controlled by dash. A, recessive alleles. B, dominant alleles. C, osmosis. D, none of the above. In this question, the correct answer is B, dominant alleles. Research have shown that these dominant traits are controlled by dominant alleles or genes. So dominant genes play a great role in controlling all the dominant traits in organisms. The next question says, which of the following is true about recessive traits? A, they are controlled by recessive genes. B, they are masked by dominant traits. C, they are expressed in an organism only when two recessive alleles are present. D, all of the above. In this question, the correct answer is D, all of the above. There is what we call recessive traits. Recessive traits are those traits that are masked by the presence of dominant traits in an organism. And studies have shown that these traits are controlled by recessive genes and they are masked by the dominant trait, as we have said. They are expressed in an organism only when two recessive alleles are present. The next question says, if TT are alleles that control height in man, these alleles are said to be dash. A, homozygous. B, heterozygous. C, monozygous. D, none of the above. In this question, the correct answer is B, heterozygous. So these capital T small t are alleles that they are letters that are used to represent the genes that control height in an organism. So in this situation, these alleles are called heterozygous alleles because they are different, but those alleles that are identical are called homozygous alleles in genetics. The next question says, a type of heredity whereby alleles are expressed at the same level without one being dominant over another, leading to availability of physical traits associated with each allele, is best described as dash. A. Codominance. B. Genotype. C. Chromosome. D. Chromatid. In this question, the correct answer is A. Codominance. This codominance is a type of heredity whereby alleles, that's different versions of genes, are expressed at the same level in such a way that there will be no gene that is dominant over one another. And this type of inheritance pattern can lead to availability of phenotype or physical traits associated with each allele. So in this situation, each of the gene will express or each of the allele will express itself equally in this organism. Each of the allele will express itself in such a way that all the traits controlled by each of the allele will be observed physically in that organism. The next question says, the roan coat color in cattle is a trait genetically produced as a result of dash. A. Codominance. B. Osmosis. C. Plasmolysis. D. None of the above. In this question, the correct answer is A. Codominance. A roan coat color in cattle is a trait that can be genetically produced when a red cattle is crossed with a white cattle. So when a red cattle is crossed with a white one, there will be the offspring that will be produced will have a mixture of red and white color, which we now call the roan coat color in that offspring. So this offspring is produced as a result of codominance. The next question says, the following are plant traits except dash. A. Flower color. B. Height. C. Blood group. D. Disease resistance. In this question, the correct answer is C. Blood group. Plants has some traits associated with them. There are different traits that are found in plants. These traits include flower color, height, disease resistance, pest resistance, etc. But plants don't have blood, so blood group is not a trait in plants. The next question says, quantitative traits in plants are dash. A. Influenced by environmental factors. B. Influenced by multiple genes. C. They are associated with complex heredity patterns. D. All of the above. In this question, the correct answer is D. All of the above. In plants, there is what we call quantitative traits, and studies have shown that these quantitative traits in plants are those traits that are influenced by environmental factors. They are highly influenced by multiple genes, and their inheritance pattern or They are associated with complex heredity patterns. All these things are facts associated with quantitative traits in plants. The next question says, the following are hereditary traits in animals except dash. A. Height. B. Tail length. C. Flower color. D. Fur color. In this question, the correct answer is C. Flower color. There are different traits that are transmitted from parents to offspring in animals. These traits include height, the tail length, the fur color, etc. But animals don't have flower. So different traits are transmitted from parent animal to their offspring. If this is the first time you are watching our video, if this is the first time you are joining this channel, don't forget to like, share and subscribe.